Hello, band.
Hi, band!
Messed up. Give me the end of that song again and do the jump. I messed up the eye line. We got to do the jump again.
I
went this side. We ripped imaginary Matt in half.
That's funny.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Hey, it was funnier the second time.
It was funnier. Me and Norton just looked so
angry.
I don't know. What's wrong, Steve? You all right?
Sad?
Hello?
He's
upset about his computer.
Computer, okay, so we gotta tell you something.
Computer gate.
Usually we don't like to talk about all the prostitutes and drugs backstage, but this is important. Mike Moorehouse a prostitute.
No, that's not true.
Damn it.
Richard, Norton was working on his computer, his laptop.
Yep.
And next to it there was a tall glass of coffee.
Coffee.
Oh.
And Mike Borja, before our vendor's room jam just now, Mike Borja reached for his bass, knocking over the coffee and spilling it all over the computer. And we all were commenting later that for 15 seconds, we all stood there and went, oh, ooh, and no one did anything. Norton was there too. Norton was like, oh God, really? It's the worst. But the coffee just spilled all over the computer. Then ultimately we all leaped into action and tried to dry it off.
I wasn't there for this. I came back and Rob was telling the story to me. And like, it sounds like what stoners do in a crisis. Oh man. That coffee's getting everywhere. Man, look at it.
Dude. So yeah, that happened. Coffee gate, computer gate.
Yeah, that's why Norton looks so sad on stage.
Yeah.
Norton, a computerless Norton.
I don't know.
Analog Norton.
I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah. You know who didn't live in that world? Norton.
So that happened. Oh, and also normally this is a three-way panel with Matt Cohen here, but he is unable to join us because he's shooting a movie.
It's today
Matt Cohen's birthday.
It is, right?
Wait a minute. Shooting
a movie. So here we do. We should, Rob, I think this is apropos.
Yeah.
Film a little song.
I think so.
For Matt. That we will then send, well, we'll keep for ourselves. We won't send it to Matt. But maybe if he's near us, we'll let him watch it on our phone.
Should we go, how about we go, you say it's your birthday, and the audience who goes, na 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 na, and then you back to me and I go, it's my birthday too, yeah, a week ago. And
Great, and then start Happy Birthday. You ready?
and then starts the song?
And then start Happy Birthday. So do that whole bit, and then you gotta sing all of Happy Birthday, ready?
You say it's your... Take two, we're after, we can do 2 takes. No, take 2, come on. You say it's your birthday! It's my birthday too, yeah! A week ago.
Matt, it's Rob.
Hey man, it's
And
Rob.
it's Rich, and it's fans.
And it's
we're gonna sing the song.
our panel, man, and we miss you and it's your birthday.
There's your memorial chair,
And you did your memorial jump.
and we memorially tore you in half.
That's right.
Rob, get it started.
Happy birthday to you.
To you, Matt Cohen.
Happy birthday to you.
And your moose knuckle.
Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Michael!
But my question is for Jim. That was an inside joke, Matt. I think you get that.
He'll get it. He knows the story.
Guys, it's Matt Cohen's birthday. He's doing a movie, so it's me and Rich on stage with you guys. So ask and we will answer.
sorry, let's get started, right?
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm short. Okay, so what is the most annoying thing about the other person, but what is also your favorite thing about the other person, referring to you two?
So about each other?
Yes.
Here's the most annoying thing about Rob Benedict. People don't know about Rob. He's an incredibly fast pooper. And you know it's true, Rob. You know it's true. And it's annoying because I'm like, how can a man who abuses so many substances have this healthy a colon? And I feel I have colon envy. Because he literally goes through, he's like, where's we gonna go? I'm gonna go drop a deuce. Oh, I'm back. I'm like, what do you mean? And then he didn't even I couldn't unbuckle my pants in that amount of time. And he's gone in, made a brown deposit at the water bank, and come back out, clean as a whistle. And I just, you're a national treasure. Rob Benedict, everybody, and literally, hashtag rabbit poop.
Hey, when you got it, you got it.
Own that.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about me?
Rob is one of the funniest people I've ever, well, as a friend, funny. But to work with Rob and do work with Rob as a writer and as a directing Rob and acting Rob is a phenomenal talent. It's a phenomenally gifted
Thank you, Rich. I think I have the same thing. The thing that I don't like about Richard is that he is, his humor is cutting and off-putting, and will throw me under the bus at the drop of a hat. The thing I love about him is that his humor is incredible and smart and quick and funny, and it's my pleasure to be under his bus.
Well said. And let the fan art begin. Thank you. Right there.
Hi, what is something dumb or funny you did as a teenager? Because I recently let my friend do an AKF tattoo on me, it didn't turn out well.
Oh no!
You let your friend do a tattoo on you?
I'm allowed to get small symbolic tattoos, but my friend did, in the audience, he did an AKF on my leg. It does not look good.
Right up here, Junior. What's your name? Say again? Luke? I'm Rich, it's Rob. Come here. Right here, buddy. Face that way. Everybody's gonna need to get the...
Oh, the F just doesn't
That's
look
what
like
I
that.
see. Always keep calling?
Well, yeah, you could easily get that fixed.
AK, it's C, but then it's got a line, it's sort of like AK, comma, C. Oh no, you don't want to emulate Jared's writing. It's like always keep, comma.
It's
Carl.
always keep Chuck.
There you go. Luke, it's not great, but it's not terrible and it's fixable. Yeah, it's good. Rob, dumb things you did as a youth.
No, you said
You're good. Stay here.
Let's see. Dumb things. Lots of dumb things. I let my friends put me in a dryer.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, the sad part is that I fit. But I did. Yeah, I did. I let them. And they turned it on, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. They're not nice people.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you sure these were friends?
One of them was you. No, they did. But they turned it off right away. But, yeah,
Oh, well. It's like they're living on fire, but they doused it.
Yeah, tattoo's better.
I'm trying to think of what, I mean, Lord knows I've done a litany of dumb things. I'm trying to think of something in my teenage years that was really stupid. Crap. Because I know I did dumb things. All kinds of dumb things. I mean, just dumb things right and left. So one dumb thing after
Did you
another.
ever, like, TP someone's house?
That's not dumb. That's just solid
Wait till
entertainment.
somebody TPs your house.
Yeah, well, good point. But yeah, I TP people's houses, but I stand behind those choices. Dumb thing. What dumb thing did I do? This is kind of a dumb thing where my senior prom, I took a gal, obviously, took a date, and I was the president of the school. So I was at the head table with the headmaster and the other senior faculty. And at some point in the middle of the headmaster's speech, I knocked over my soda. Just knocked it over. And so, if you're my date, I knocked over the soda, and everybody looked and I went, ah! And I blamed my date.
You're such a jerk.
We didn't date again. No, actually, it was Sarah. It's somebody I'm still friends with. Yeah, I've known this girl. We're still great friends. But to this day, I bring that up. It chaps her hide. She doesn't find it funny this many years later. So that wasn't a class act. That wasn't a classic.
No.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Luke. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a real jerk move. Blame your date while a table full of,
Yeah.
couples stare at you like you just messed up. Not good. Not good.
I got my ear pierced, which I don't regret, but they wanted me to cut my hair and take my earring out for this play that I was doing. And I think back at this all the time, especially as like a committed actor. I was like, not doing it. Just like in the army in the play, I was like, not doing it. I'm gonna take my earring out. You can't make me. What the hell was my problem? I just don't like authority.
I had a situation where I was a senior, starting senior year of high school. All the senior football players, we all got flat tops and went to the barber. But I'd never shaved my head for the other years, so I was like, that was the running gag, like, oh, long hair here. And my hair was not long. I went to prep school, so it was not long, but it wasn't shaved. And finally, senior year, I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go like get it kind of like almost styled, the way Billy has it, like where it's short, but it's kind of long short, and you can style it up. So I'm gonna do a thing. So my buddy Dave took me to like a bar, like not the barber shop, the $5 barber who gives you the flat top with the wax, but took me to like a different place where she was gonna give me the style. She cut it short, and I'm 18 years old, and I'm 18 going on 13 emotionally. Like, I was just a young looking kid, and slow to trickle into the adult world. And this lady's brushing the hair up. She had product in it. And she was, kind of laughing with us about, getting this done. And she brushed it up and brought the hair dryer and started blow drying the hair. In the middle of doing that, she leaned over and she said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for the blowjob."
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, she had my attention because other than my physician, that was a no-go zone, So I was like, ah! I didn't know what was going on, and I realized she's hair blow drying my hair, and I guess there's an upcharge for that. But that's not what I immediately thought.
Amazing.
So I literally like had a awkward moment and like panicked. And when Dave and I got out of there, and I immediately made him drive me to the other barbershop and shaved it all off.
No.
Yeah. So I ended up with the flat.
Why?
I don't know, man. The whole sexual connotation of my hair. I figured my parents would see my hair. No. I don't know. Like it just threw me off.
But she didn't do anything.
No, she just did her job. She
cut your hair.
cut my hair. Used a blow dryer to dry it. I know. But hey, listen. She's not guilt-free. That's not a lot of,
She knows what she's doing.
Poor choice of words.
But I love that you were like, "You're not my doctor."
Is it what I know? Anyway,
Hi. So my question's for both of you. If either of you could be any superhero or supervillain, who would you be?
Aquaman. Just because I think it'd be cool to be able to breathe underwater. Because I love scuba diving. And I think it'd be cool to just be able to be underwater.
I have a funny side story. On the way here, Jason Momoa was sitting in front of me on the airplane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's a very tall, strapping fellow. And, and I've never felt more safe on a plane. You know what I mean? If it goes down or if it gets hijacked or whatever, like, yeah, fucking Aquaman.
And my mind immediately went to, what's he doing on Southwest? Why was he? Right in the back row.
I honestly thought, is there another con in town? Anyway, so yeah, Aquaman was on my plane, different class, but he was in the first class, and I was with that first row behind
Let
him.
me tell you something. I don't know if I'd be all that stoked if Aquaman is on my plane, because the plane starts going down. He's not going to panic.
He's like, I got it.
I go right in the water
Yeah.
and just crawl out. You? Not so much.
Like, I'd be like, save me, Aquaman.
If you say it like that, he's going to keep walking. He's not going to.
You mean swimming?
Yeah.
I think I'd be, it's hard to say. I think I'd be, yeah, I think I'd be Superman. Because I really would like to fly and be stronger than anybody else. And just still be an all-around good fella.
I remember Mad Magazine years ago, did one of their little panel cartoons was things you don't normally see superheroes doing. And I don't remember any of the other ones, but this one made me laugh. It was like a guy working on a typewriter, he's old, in an office, and behind him there's a window, and you just see a finger in the window, and it was Plastic Man giving the guy on the 32nd floor the finger. I just shooting the bird.
Wait, Plastic Man just stretched out?
Yeah, Plastic Man giving the guy on the 32nd floor the finger.
It's like a finger against the... and villain, I guess the Joker.
Oh.
Is he a superhero?
No, she said or villain. Oh, I thought it's not and, it's or.
Could be. Either way.
I thought I had to get both answers.
The Joker is good, yeah. Which incarnation of the
I'm
Joker?
kind of interested in this new one.
Yeah, me too. So you with Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin, although Heath Ledger, like, forever, one of the best performances.
But I think there's something fun in seeing him, and like, I have a sentimental attachment to Jack Nicholson, so this is all, whatever. Thank you.
Hi, I just want to let you guys know that you guys are awesome sauce. My question is for Rob. If, as you as God, I'm sorry, the reason why that you killed Jack was not because he was stronger than you, but because because no one had faith in you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that. I would say I was frustrated that they weren't doing what I was asking them to do, and I was a little, worried about the strength that he had possessed, the potential that he had. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. I think that has a lot to do with it. Very well done. As per usual, you guys know, can analyze the script probably better than I can. My job is just to play the role I've been given and the direction I've been given. But you can kind of look back and go, oh, but that means this and that, you know what I mean? I think in a lot of ways you can analyze it better than me.
Very cool. Over here.
Hi guys, sorry I was chatting.
No worries.
My question is, what's your favorite memory through your friendship thus far?
Favorite friendship memory?
Yeah, thus far.
So many, man. I mean, a lot of it, there's so many great stories.
Yeah, a lot of great stories. This is cropping up because I was telling the story last night. But one of my favorites, this is going to sound like an odd friendship memory, but Rob and me sitting in the green room in San Francisco last year, watching our sons make a movie of them beating each other up. And I was like, there goes the Speight, Benedict, 1-2 punch down to the next generation. I thought that was fun. It's fun to know somebody well enough to also know their kids.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's become a thing now. They've made 3 or 4.
It's unbelievable. The Speight boys and the Benedict boy, and I guess Audrey's been involved a little bit, but mainly it's your son.
She's done some camera work.
Yeah, but they literally make these videos where it's just, all it is a fight sequence. And it's 7 minutes of absolute carnage. And we were at Rob's house not long ago. My wife and I were sitting outside with Rob chatting, and they'll run through with like a frying pan. I'm like, is that? Okay. And sure enough, they had done this whole blood take where Calvin had hit one of my sons with a frying pan, and he had then spit ketchup all over the wall for the blood take. Which, by the way, cut together great.
It was
It
awesome.
looked great. They put on the sound effect, but they just beat the crap out of each other. And the first time they let my youngest son be involved, because he was not allowed to be in the movies for a while because he was the youngest. He had to do all the low angle camera work, but he couldn't actually couldn't be in the movie. But they let him be in the movie when we went to Missouri. And he was so fired up, we walked outside in this apartment complex where Rob's mom lives, and he's like, "Look, Dad, I've learned to do stunts," and proceeded to fling himself down concrete stairs. I'm like, "That's not stunt work, son." And I turned to the boy like, "Boys, I know you encouraged him to do that. Don't do that."
It's a great scene where his youngest, Frank, gets thrown down the stairs and then has to stay there sort of dead on the stairs as the other boys like run past him.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
The videos are awesome.
Although there's some things they still have to learn about stunts that you don't have to do. Like there was a scene in the most recent one they did where one of your boys, I think, sprays my son with SPF spray. So he's like, get off me! And really does it. I was like, we don't have to actually, you barely see that on camera.
Yeah, all you had to do was to add the sound effect, but no, and Calvin like, "Yep, hit me."
Oh yeah, Calvin's like, let's do another take, yeah. My son is kind of like, he does that, he brings that
Well,
on.
he's the EP, so he makes all the decisions.
Yes.
It's his baby.
But yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Where are we at? Over there? Yeah.
Hi, is there going to be any more Kings of Con?
We don't know. Robbie and I are on the precipice of making a decision about that. And I'll tell you this, we'll make an announcement either way soon, but most likely it won't be another series. It might be in another form. So we, to be continued. We'll get back to you on that online.
But I think it's safe to say the Kings of Con are not dead.
They're not dead.
And we're excited.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for your question. Yeah.
Hi, my question is for Rob. At the end of the season, we kind of find out that God orchestrated this whole perfect ending between Jack and Dean. Do you think that Jack's sacrifice for the Winchesters was because their bond was real, or because God was sort of pulling the strings a little bit?
Ooh.
I think their bond was real, but I think that the point is, I think God at least thinks that he's pulling the strings behind everything. So his chess pieces that he places on the board, he knows which ones are going to magnetize and who's going to go to where. So, he did set this up. So everything's real. He said he's the puppet master behind it all. And what God wanted in that scene was this big dramatic thing where Dean had to, kill Jack. And that was this big dramatic thing, the thunder and he wanted this big, huge thing. So he knew that their bond was real, but he thought that this had to happen. There was, So I think a lot will be explained in this next season, but yeah, I think that's where he was sort of coming from. If that makes sense. So their bond is real. But I think he feels that he sets all of it up. He does write it all out. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that makes a little bit of sense. But feel free to chime in.
No, not at all. I was laughing that she asked a question, which is a legitimate question. You were like, uh-oh. Like you can give the wrong answer. It's still an interpretive answer.
I know, exactly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go. From the man himself.
Yeah, all right. Well, right out there. Right there.
Hi, first off, I love y'all. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So if you guys could make a buddy cop movie with God and Gabe, what would it be called, and who would be the good cop and the bad cop?
Turner and Hooch, and I would be the dog.
There you go.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah. He'd definitely be the dog and the bad guy.
Hey, right, you're right yourself.
Bad cop.
You.
Hi, I'm Melody. My question is, for Richard. I wanted to ask what would Gabriel's reaction be to God in the final episode about what he did with the brothers and Jack.
I don't think Gabriel thought God was all that great a dad to start with, so he'd be going, see? You know what I mean? He'd be going, I told you guys, not a great dad. Not very kind or empathetic. So obviously it would be, if he were really involved, it would be very challenging for Gabriel, because obviously that's his father, but he's also been on the side of humanity. But I do think he would take some sort of solace in getting other people to realize what he's always said about his own dad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen Succession on HBO?
No, that's a big conversation about that show.
It's a really, really good, well-written show, well-acted show, but the family on that show is not unlike God and his boys.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Everybody, especially this weekend, fans and friends alike have been talking about that show. I need to start watching it.
Yeah.
All right, you, right there.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you guys for making me love just the whole concept of acting, because I'm trying to get into drama club at my school and trying to get better at being in front of a lot of people. So you guys really helped with that. Gabriel was a big inspiration on the show for me, but I really wanted to learn about that. Also, sorry for being awkward during the photo that we had, Rich. But the question was, if Gabriel was in the last episode of the season finale, what do you think he would have done?
Coming up, the series finale or the season finale?
Season finale.
I think he would have brought more strippers.
See?
To lighten
You
the
see,
mood. I
that's
just
what
don't
I'm arguing.
think there were enough strippers.
My son.
You know what I mean? Too much this, not enough drinky, strippy. You know what I mean? Thank you for your question. Yeah.
Hi, I want to ask if you could do an impression of one of the cast members of the show.
Impression of one of the cast members?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Just choose, if you could choose whichever cast member you want.
What was the last statement?
Choose any cast member you want.
Oh, well,
We've got invitations of a lot of them.
Yeah, well, I think the funny thing about Jensen Ackles is that Jensen Ackles has become a parody of himself. And if you've been coming to cons long enough, you know what I'm talking about. We started pointing out things about him, like the comedy elbows and things like that he does. He's like, what are we doing? No, doing a bit? All right.
Hey, choose invisible bubblegum.
He licks his lips before he's going to say something funny. All right. This is one of the safer bets. Loves that bit. But he literally does the thing. He'll walk by, as a director, I would say work with those guys in that capacity, and he literally walks on going, what are we doing? And I'm like, you did the thing. What do I do? You said, what am I doing? Well, what are we doing? I want to know what we're doing. How else am I supposed to ask, what are we doing? But by walking in here and saying, what are we doing? I said, that's fine. But if you ever hear Mick Jagger at a restaurant complaining about the service and he says, I just can't get no satisfaction, it's funny because he's saying the thing that we know that he says out of context of the joke, bringing it back to the joke. So you go walking in and going, what are we doing? What are we? You're doing the thing. It's been funny working with him, and Rob and I come out, and before the last question was cemented as part of the panel, Rob and I make comedy decisions in a vacuum. We don't tell people. So suddenly Norton's playing that song. We're running around, and Jensen's like, "What are we doing? Is it time to run around like idiots?" Yeah. And he literally was like, "What are we doing? What? Oh, we're doing a bit." All right.
Even still, we've been doing last question for a long time, and whenever we come out on stage, he goes, watch it tomorrow.
What's this? His eyes, without asking, are saying, what are you doing?
And then he'll go, and then Rich, and then he'll go.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing a bit. Even when he walks over to you to talk into the song, he's like, this last question? We're wrapping it up? That's what we're doing? Okay. It's the last. And then he starts singing.
Yeah.
He does a really good Jensen Ackles imitation.
He does, yeah.
Right up until the song. So that's why Jensen Ackles. Robert?
I was just trying to think, Jared is Besides, of course, like the hair, you know, you can always just do the hair mime.
Right.
The hair's getting in his way. But there's something like pretty intense about, and fast talking about Jared is, what's your name? What's your name?
Claudia.
Claudia, it's fine, Anna, Claudia, it's Claudia. Thanks so much, this is the last question. Thank you so much. What's it? I mean, like, he's always like, say hello to the supernatural audience, say hello to Claudia. So, yeah, say hello to Claudia.
The thing about Jared, I never really thought about that, but you're right, he does do that. And that's got to be really intimidating if you've just been watching him on TV, and now you have this, you know, big bird-sized human kind of like coming at y'all, elbows, and like, hey!
It's so
Welcome to the supernatural
I like hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's very, when he comes in and gives me a hug, I'm always like, ugh.
We're now inside the ears of the person.
Yeah.
Like, looks over to Jensen. What are we doing? Say it. Yep, right there.
Hello. I know you both work in front of and behind the camera. Do you have a preference of whether it's acting or directing?
Well, I think acting, writing, directing, we've dabbled in all three of those. I think for me, they're such different animals, to be honest. I mean, I love acting. I'm loving directing right now. It's super fun for me to do. I enjoy, when you're acting, you're paying very close attention to your character and your story and putting all of your energy into embodying that. And you don't get to embody anything as a director, but you inhabit all of those characters mentally as the director, and so instead of focusing on one thing, you're focused on all things. And I find it fascinating to every now and then be the chess player, not the chess piece. But I enjoy both equally, and they're both equally artistically satisfying in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar answer. I don't direct, but I love writing is my sort of other thing that I love doing, and producing things that I've written, like we did in Kings of Con, and like I did in the short film I did called The Sidekick, and that was very gratifying. And I'd like to do more of that. Yeah, it's just incredibly gratifying to have control over your work in that way. I mean, especially if you produce your own writing. Certainly you don't have as much control if you write something and just kind of give it to someone else to make, but I do like producing things that I've written. But, all that being said, acting is really my main joy and my main passion, and you know, the thing I've been studying for so long now, so that really is my true love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right here.
Hi. So my question is, you both played a couple different iterations of your character. I want to know what your favorite iteration is and why.
Favorite iteration of our characters? That's a tough question. I don't know if I have a favorite. One thing I really enjoyed, and this, I don't think this is not a favorite thing, but I'm glad that I was able to play. I'm glad the writers, Meredith and the producers, decided to bring actual Loki into the show. I thought that was cool. Because obviously if the trickster had been pretending to be him, it was fun to sort of follow that storyline. So I enjoyed discovering what that character was for the show. What are they? Thoughts?
I don't know, my initial response is like I've got a soft spot for the drunken hermit that was Chuck in season 4, season 5. There was something really fun about that guy and the sad convention that he had, and his relationship with Becky, and those things I have a soft spot for. All of that being said though, one of my favorite episodes I ever did was the one with Curtis Armstrong, where I sing fairly well and kind of officially come out as God. So that I really, that meant a lot to me. I mean, the God part of Chuck is something I don't take lightly, and that I feel is a I always feel like it's kind of an honor to be given that big of a kind of idea to play. So, you know, that too. So I guess I'm saying I like them both, but I guess I do have the soft spot.
So to go with that, so in fairness to your question, I'll say my favorite was Gabriel in Unfinished Business. Because I feel like Gabriel in that episode kind of got to check all the boxes. He's a snarky self, but he also has a purpose, you know, has what he thinks is a moral code, even though it's flawed, and, you know, is also sort of setting up to help the boys. So it's sort of like they brought all the greatest hits of that character into that episode, and I think that's probably my favorite episode for that character. Thank you. Over here.
I was wondering if you had any like pieces of parenting advice that was like a surprise to you or something that you hadn't expected before becoming a parent.
That was all a surprise. Parenting advice.
When people first said, when I was having babies, before I had my first baby, people would always say, like, it changes your life. Oh my God, you're like a different person after you have kids. And I did not find that to be true. I'm still me. I'm just me with a kid. You know what I mean? And I actually was like pleased to find that out. You're still you. You're just you with this new responsibility. And you find out what you're capable of. That you're capable of love in a way that you didn't know was possible. And then when you have another child, you're like, well, there's no way I'm going to love this next one as much as I love this person. You realize you've got enough love in you to love this other child, and now he had a third. You know what I mean? You're capable of so much love. I mean, that's something really cool, I think, to find out about yourself.
The moments that annoy people when you're telling them stories, like I'll say children's stories don't translate well. Because you'll think your kid is the funniest thing or sweetest thing ever, and you try to tell somebody that story and you literally put them to sleep. However, I'm going to tell one now. This story has become slightly famous in our social group. So,
it's a great story.
When you're teaching your kid to use a toilet, it's a dramatic process because they're used to just going in their trousers. So you gotta inject these steps into it, like going to a toilet and sitting down. And so what you do is you're very encouraging. Anytime your son or daughter does it correctly and gets on the little bitty potty and goes in their can, you're like, good job, buddy, good job. You make a big display of it because you want the positive reinforcement of doing this thing. So we're doing that with my first son. And at one point, also children never leave you alone, never leave you alone. When they can walk, they can follow, and they will follow you everywhere. It does not matter what you're doing. It does not matter what you are doing. So I was dropping the kids off at the pool, as they say, myself,
He was pooping.
and at a normal speed, not hyperspace.
This never happens to me because I poop so
I know, the kids don't think you poop. They just see a door swing open and closed. And I'm in there, doing my thing, and Steve, my oldest, walks in, just a toddler. And he goes, Dad, I go poo-poo? And I go, yeah, buddy, I'll poo-poo. And he goes, good job, Daddy! And I go, well, thank you. Years of practice. But that story got told at that time and has been sort of a shared story in our social group for a long time. So
I guess the last thing I'll say about it is another thing I did was not prepared for, and people tell you this, and you're like, yeah, is that they freaking grow up. They grow up, and before you know it, my son is taller than me now, and even when I said I had my first baby, like, my first baby's going, Dad, come on. Like, his voice is lower than mine, he's taller than me, he's a man. He's a young man, and that's nutty.
that's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
We're gonna go first and here next. You.
Hi guys. Wow, I can't look at you. Hi everybody. I'm going to talk to you instead. I just have a question for you guys. In the French mistake, if it had not been Sam and Dean going through the portal, but if it had been season 14 Chuck and Gabriel going through it, what would the first thing Gabriel do be? And what would Chuck react like?
Rob, you were just talking about this backstage. Bob, we'll take it.
Well, Chuck would react like anything because he made it. He'd be like, oh, now I'm in this dimension. Right, it's the television show. They're making the television show of the thing. It looks like my thing. Like, not my thing. It's like the... So I don't think Chuck would be that blown away by it. He's very aware of the different dimensions. You know, in one of the dimensions, it's all squirrels, right?
Yeah.
So, to him, this is just another Tuesday. But Gabriel, Rich was telling me earlier that Gabriel would definitely have a different reaction. Rich?
Turner and Hooch, and I'd be the dog. Thank you for your question. You.
Hi. This is a question for Rich, actually, but I just want to say that I love you both, and you guys are hilarious. You are the best duo besides Jensen and Jared.
Aren't we the only duo besides this?
I guess. Well, there's also Kim and Brianna.
That's right. Wow. Now you're the third best.
I'm pretty great though.
So we got bronze.
Yeah, we got bronze. That's all right. We'll take bronze. Take third.
We're on the podium.
My question is for Rich. If you could go back to the Changing Channels verse, and if you could drop off Sam and Dean in any TV verse, where would you put them in?
Judge Judy. Put them in Judge Judy. And I'd have them on one side and God on the other, and she would sort this shit out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not a bad idea. You.
Hey guys, I'm Dakota.
Hey buddy.
Hey, I was wondering, without giving any spoilers or anything away, my question is for Rob. How do you think that they're gonna handle, if they do, Chuck? Because other than tomorrow, I really don't see any possible way that that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I can see why you think that. It's hard to answer without giving anything away, but...
No spoilers, Bobo. No spoilers.
I'm not gonna. You always worry. But they're definitely gonna have to figure out a way.
Sorry, Dakota.
I'll say this. We'll figure it out. We'll find out this season. We're gonna find out how they're gonna have to figure it out.
Good enough.
Amara would be a good place to start. I agree with you. Let's ask Emily. I haven't said anything. I don't know.
Just say thanks.
You.
Before I ask my question, I just wanted to tell Rob that we share the same birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday to you.
And my question is for both of you. How similar do you think you are to your character?
Well, Rob definitely has a God complex, and I'm addicted to porn, so we're exactly the same as our characters. It's spot on. Thank you for your question.
I made people call me God backstage. And Rich, I've never seen without two strippers.
Always watching people screw you.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you if you have seen the comic strip with Chuck and Gabe when Gabe makes the platypus?
I know the Scout books. You know, God and Gabe stuff.
It's like a 3-panel comic strip when Chuck's is busy making things and young Gabriel comes up and says, I want to make something too. So Chuck just gives him, he calls it a box of spare parts. Hours later, Chuck is looking for young Gabe, and he's like, where are you, my son? And Gabe says, Dad, look what I made. And it's a platypus.
That makes
and Chuck goes, what is that? And Gabe's like, can we keep it? So Chuck's like, no, yeah, just put it in Australia with the rest of the things.
That really happened.
I do.
I gotta be honest. That's the first time I've ever heard a dramatic reading of a comic strip.
And I was just wondering, what do you think of it personally, and what would your characters think if that actually happened?
Love it and love it. Rob?
I love the Scout. I think it's the Scouts. The Scouts books are what you're talking about. God and Gabe.
Pretty sure.
It might be one of hers.
Pretty sure
It's not a God and Gabe.
Oh.
It's not one of those. It's literally like a Tumblr post that 3 different people drew additions to it.
Oh, interesting. Well, anyway, I mean, yeah, Rob likes it, and God approves. God approves.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Here.
My question's for the both of you. What are your Harry Potter Hogwarts houses? Because I'm a Ravenclaw, and I gotta say, you guys are my inspiration, and I love you both. Awesome.
Thank you. I am a Huff and Puff. And Rob's a blow your house down.
Not true. It's versus Hufflepuff. It's a great, valiant effort. Huff and stuff.
And I'm an H&R Puff and stuff. And Rob's a Dragon Claw. You didn't like I'm a Huff and Puff and you're a blow your house down?
Same, I'm a Hufflepuff.
What are the other ones? There's Hufflepuff,
Ravenclaw,
Slytherin,
Gryffindor,
and Wickendor. Gryffindor. Not Wickerdor. This door is made of wicker. Anybody can break through this door. This was a mistake. You should use wizard-like powers to make this door from wood, and then change the group name to Wooden Door. Wicker Door.
Welcome to Wickerdor.
Wicker Door. I didn't hear you come in. I know the door makes no noise. Here.
Hi. I was wondering if God, like the season 11 iteration where he's not a jerk and he's kind of funny, if he interacted with like Gabriel, what would like his reaction to like all the stuff Gabriel has been doing this whole time be? Like, what would that interaction be like?
Same as it is.
What is it? Remind me real quick. God in season 11. What was the episode there?
That's when Amara was.
Oh, right.
Wreaking havoc, and I had to come back and. By the way, still got a sense of humor. Still a likable, funny guy. I'm just having a moment. We all have temper tantrums, right? Some days you're like, damn it, and I'm going, me, damn it. That being said,
yeah, but when you say me, damn it, it's damned. You've literally damned it. So
that's right.
You gotta be careful. Words hurt.
You better be careful.
But no spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, they've always had a contentious relationship. If we take us back to season 11, I still got you locked up and your mouth sewn shut.
Yeah.
Which I like to call the good years. But yeah, look, I have a couple boys that are in trouble. You get it. You're a father of 3 boys.
I have yet to sew their mouths shut. But yeah, I mean, 2 schools of thought.
Much bigger stage we're playing on. So yeah, but look, I love Gabriel, like I love all my children. But he's a naughty boy, and sometimes he needs to go to his room for 3 trillion years.
Fair.
So that's all. But I'm happy that he made his way back out. No spoilers, but
no spoilers.
But season 13. Season 13. I can't talk about that. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
question's for Rob.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about Missouri?
Oh man, I love Missouri. Where are my Missouri peeps? Yeah.
I'm going to let you answer this, but I'm going to tell you again.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I grew up in Columbia, Missouri. It's a university town where University of Missouri is, and it was a great place to grow up. And one of my favorite things about Missouri, not a lot of people know, is we have like the most caves. We've got like so many caves in Missouri. And I used to go spelunking and cave diving, and that was really fun and super scary. So that's a little known fact. And I like that we have Kansas City and St. Louis. Those are beautiful cities. And
good barbecue in your state.
Good, yeah, Kansas City barbecue, jazz, lots of stuff. Yeah, it's just a beautiful state, and Lake of the Ozarks.
Are you from there?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
St. Louis.
Hey,
Got the Arch. Let's not forget the Arch.
Arch.
Great
I'm a
monument.
Cardinals fan.
Yeah.
Huge St. Louis Cardinals fan. And yeah, so I'd say caves and
Keys and cards.
And cards, caves and cards. But yeah, I was just say it was an awesome place to grow up. We really have fond memories of growing up there.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Go to Zoo.
Hi. So my question's for Rob. My friend and I have been arguing about this for a while, but since we all know that Chuck is orchestrating everything from behind the scenes in the season 14 finale, did Chuck already know that Sam was going to shoot him?
Good question. I guess, and I'm with you here, we're just trying to figure it out, right? Yes. Yes, you have to think that he...
Was that a spoiler?
Only if you haven't seen 14. Sorry. I don't know. I think you'd have to think, right? That he does. He knows everything before it happens.
He seemed a little surprised to me.
Well, I mean, if you ever get shot, it's a bit alarming when it actually happens. You know what I'm saying? If I'm like, shoot me, Mitch, no good, shoot me in the shoulder. Oh my God, you shot me!
Yeah, see? By the way, Rob Benedict acting, everybody, right there. Thank you very much. You.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I love you both.
Thank you.
My question's for Rob. I first saw you in Waiting.
Cool.
And I wanted to know what your experience was filming that.
It was awesome. It was like a big party. It was, as people, we were doing what those characters were doing. Like, well, not all of it, but we were having like a great time. We were in New Orleans. We were there for about a month, and it was such a fun group of people. And we all hung out together. We all liked each other a lot, and we would just go out and stay up all night long, and then have to get up and go to work the next day. We were kids. And it was super fun. It was just like super fun. Ryan was great, and Justin Long was a super cool dude. And Anna Faris, and we just had a great time in New Orleans.
It's a great cast, man.
Yeah, it was a really super cast, and yeah, I miss him. We should do a reunion. That'd be fun. There was a Waiting 2.
Oh, Rob was in Waiting 2. Rob was in Waiting 2, and he made out with Danielle Ackles.
That's right. Before she was Ackles.
And then Rob wrote a scene in NJCon and handpicked Mandy Cohen, Matt's wife, to make out with her. And then he called me. He said, "Do you think your wife would do a short film?" And I said, "Back the fuck off, man." That's what I said.
It's all true. True stories.
Oh, Lips Benedict over here.
Mandy was the right person for that role.
Yeah. Take after take he did. Rob, we got that one. I need one more for me.
That's not true.
Rob, we're changing. There's no film in that camera. I'm good. We'll rehearse it. Oh, man. Pig. And on Matt's birthday of all days, you bring this up.
You brought it up.
Oh, did I? Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up?
My question is for Rob. So we know that Chuck is probably going to be a problem in season 15, and I was just curious if it was intentional long term that the first episode we ever see him in was titled "The Monster at the End of This Book."
I'm going to go ahead and say this right now for you.
Okay.
No spoilers.
I
do think that that's pretty cool. That's like that kind of ties in. Whether or not that was planned, I really don't know. In the same way, like I'm not sure, and I should ask him at some point, if Kripke had it in mind when I was introduced that I was going to eventually be God. I know that at the end of season 5, he knew that I was God, because he told me, but I don't know earlier. But yeah. I didn't say anything! Nothing was said. I'm talking about season 4 and 5.
Say thank you.
I don't know. If I see you later, maybe we can.
Thank you. You.
Hi, my name is Benedict. I was just asking because my school has a morning news program and it's called HTV, and I was wondering if you have any advice on like working with TV stuff.
See, I missed a lot of that.
Her school has a news program called HTV.
And do you have any advice with working with TV program stuff?
Any advice for TV program stuff? At USC, did you ever do anything with the film department or the TV department?
Yeah, we did a bunch of short films for the people who were over there making movies, the kids studying. Can you narrow your question just a skosh? Like, what is it you're trying to do?
Like, there's irising and teleprompter and like working with the jib camera.
Well, that's all stuff you could be, those are great things to learn if you want to end up being in entertainment or just know how that works. So, I mean, I don't think there's any advice we can offer except for take advantage of the program offered by your school, because that's stuff you usually have to be in the film business to learn. So, getting the opportunity to learn it at school is great.
And that stuff, like on news programs, it seems to me the more time you are around the equipment and work with the equipment, the more comfortable you are. And that's what you're trying to achieve, is just to be comfortable on a set like that. Because quite often, big decisions are happening really quickly when you're doing it in the real world, and you just want to be comfortable enough to be able to shift and with different problems or different things that you might have to do. I mean, Richard and I, most of our experience on news type programs has come just doing interviews on them.
Right.
But even that is like, they can be nerve-wracking. They're like doing your makeup or setting your microphone, like, oh, by the way, don't say the word the. Okay, and here we go. You know what I mean? And it's like, give you this weird piece of advice, like, wait, what? And you just have, and then you're on.
Don't look Carl in the eye.
And what? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just spending more time around there.
Yeah, take advantage of it.
It's great that your high school or your school has that.
Sounds like a great program. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, you guys. I was wondering, Richard, when did they tell you your character was going to be Gabriel? And Rob, when did they tell you you were going to be God? And like, what was your reaction to that?
I found out when I got the script for Changing Channels. They sent me the script for that. I was like, it was just they never told me as a conversation. It was just revealed to me when they gave me the script. And I thought it was awesome, because though I had really enjoyed doing the other 2 episodes, they were great experiences and great episodes for me to do as an actor and as a person. But the fact that they then took that character and made that character part of the overall mythology of the show and gave the character a bigger purpose in the arc of the show was really cool for me. So I love it. Babo?
I found out at the end of season 5 when I got the script for Swan Song. And Eric Kripke called me and told me. It's weird because I didn't know for sure what it meant when I read the script, that I just like disappeared, wearing a white shirt all of a sudden, and I just disappeared. And then he called me. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're God." I was like, "Oh, okay, oh that's good, yeah, right, okay, that's what it is, like turning the pages, figuring it out." Yeah, so that's what I found out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over here.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
I was just wondering if you've improvised any lines, and if so, what's your favorite one?
In Supernatural? I don't think I've improvised any lines in Supernatural. I'm trying to remember.
Improvised moments, maybe.
No,
most of the lines that are written.
Yeah, it's pretty. We usually stick pretty close to what the scene is. I don't recall anything improvised. What? That was written. Written line. Yeah, I don't remember.
A lot of times the things we'll improvise will be like at the end of scenes that they keep the camera rolling and it'll just be a look or a bit or like,
Yeah. Yeah, but Supernatural, because the stories are complex and you don't really know, you might be saying a line that affects something 4 episodes down the road that you don't know about. So I know this as a director, they're pretty adamant about keeping actors on script. The only actors who can really change stuff are obviously Jared and Jensen because they know the characters and story better than anybody, but they're pretty, I like to just kind of stick close to the script on that. So it's all written. And hey, if it looks improvised, that means it was well written. So good. Compliment to the writers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Rob Benedict.
This is Richard Speight Jr.
And right here would be Matt Cohen. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Norton, how are you?
How's the computer?
We're all worried about you. Good, Rich.
How's the computer?
Don't lie. I don't know yet.
Have you pressed the buttons?
I had to hook up a mouse. Billy had a mouse, so I hooked
Mouse
up a
pad.
mouse to it.
Mouse pad's not working.
So we're
Not
right
the
there.
trackpad
We
is
lost the
dead.
mouse pad. The
Mouse pad's
trackpad is dead.
Okay.
So, Mike.
And how you feeling, Mike?
Yeah.
In terms of responsibility.
His birthday's coming up.
Yeah, is that the most expensive cup of coffee you've ever...
Yep, you betcha.
You could just sign over your new laptop.
I could.
Mike was bragging about his new laptop yesterday and what a screaming deal he got on it.
Yep, just give it away. Mike, I don't have it anymore.
Put a bow on that sucker.
Mike, you work in insurance, right?
Yep.
All right, well, we'll keep you guys updated with laptop gates. In the meantime, let's bring out our next guest.